That's on period. So you want to learn a language by yourself, right? Well, I have done that a couple times in my life, so I want to give some information to you to show you how you can do that. Because many people don't know where to start. They think the only way they can do it is through some formal education or through some course, but I'm here to tell you, you're wasting your time. You can do it more effectively from home. I have a similar video that I'm going to link to, but today I'm going to talk about kind of more in generally what you need to have prepared. So here are some of my guidelines, what I do when I need to learn a language by myself, what I need to prepare. Because it is a completely different experience from learning in a classroom, so you should be really cognizant of this. Number one thing you need to do is create a goal. Because in a formal setting, they're just going to tell you, you need to know this by the end. But if it's for yourself, you need to choose for yourself what is your goal. This could be, I want to speak to my grandma. I want to be able to speak in this language when I go to the restaurant that it is spoken in. This could be, I want to read that country's news articles. This could be, I want to watch a YouTuber in that language. This could be, I want to listen to the nightly news in that language. First, you need to establish what is your goal, because just getting better at a language is not good enough. Once you have your goal thought out, then you have to plan based on that goal how to improve that. So if you want to talk to your grandma, you need to do some kind of language exchange so that you can naturally speak with people. If you want to talk in a little bit more formal settings, you're probably going to need a private tutor who can maybe teach you more formal things. If you want to practice your reading, just find a book that is just barely above your level and read it. I say barely above your level because you don't want to make reading too difficult for yourself, but you also want to see new things. If you want to improve your listening, just turn on the nightly news and just watch and try to read and try to understand what's happening. You can find a YouTuber that you like and just listen to them. Eventually you'll be used to how they're speaking. This is critical. This is why we have a goal. We need to specifically target something that will help with that goal. An optional thing here would to be have an end date in sight. I don't like doing this, but that actually helps for a lot of people. For example, by the end of the summer, I want to be able to do this, or I want to do some sort of test in April, so I have to have my language level up before then. But that's not my kind of thing, because I'm really chill and I just go at it little by little, invest in yourself, and after 10 years you'll think, wow, I know slightly more. Then you need some resources. This is going to be true for every language, but I can't really recommend something that works for all languages because nothing like that exists. You're going to need, one, a good dictionary. For some languages, that's going to be Google Translate. For some languages, that doesn't work. For example, with Korean, I really enjoy Naver. They have a really good English to Korean dictionary. They have a really good Japanese to Korean dictionary. They have a really good Hanja dictionary, so I like using that. For Japanese, I use a combination of jisho.org, I use the app Yomiwa, and I use this website for native speakers that I can't remember the name of, but I'm going to include it on the screen right now. For Chinese, I like Pleco. For French, I like Word Reference. For German, I like Reverso. So I really can't tell you what you need. It's going to depend on your language, but I think some good ones for many, maybe Google Translate, that should be a last resort. Reverso is a good one for many languages. Lingui, I think is the pronunciation, is going to be good for a lot of languages. Look around, look at the quality of the translations, look at the quality of the sample sentences, and decide based on that if you like that website. Then you're going to need a source of grammar. This could be a little textbook that you buy. Oh, shit. This could be a textbook like that. This could be a website. This could be a grammar dictionary. This could be many different things. Just have a dependable place where you encounter new grammar structures. You're going to need a source of new vocab. In my opinion, getting a vocab book is kind of meh because they introduce you to words that are easy to explain in an entry and that are easy to test on. But I think it's more effective to see what words natives are using because Those are the most common words, not the ones in your book. So for me, native level content is the God tier vocab source. You're going to need a place to ask questions. As a self-studier, you don't have anyone you can turn to. In a classroom study, you can turn to a teacher, professor, but when you're self-studying, you need to find other ways to ask questions. This could be some website where you ask questions. italki tutors are possible. The italki community is possible. This app that why can't I remember the name of the damn app? It is called Hi Native. That one's good for asking questions. Just general forums is good. You just need somewhere to fall onto when you want to ask, oh, what's the difference between this and this? Or is my sentence natural? You need a place for that as a self-studier. All language learners need that, but if you're self-studying, you especially need that. You also need a place to practice your input. It kind of overlaps with what I just said, but for something that's longer, you might want to have a language exchange partner. You might want to post it on a site where you expect native corrections. You can have a native friend who speaks to you. Maybe you don't expect them to correct everything, but this is the place where you say things and write things and read things. Just being like nose in the book is not good enough. You need to make some output so that your brain starts making connections, those neurons start touching, and something else that's important. As a self-studier, you're going to be using a lot of the internet, so you need to learn to type in your language. If your language has an alphabet, that's easy. Usually one key is going to be one thing, but if it's not an alphabet, you need to learn how to do that. For example, if you're using Chinese characters, I like to use the handwritten Chinese keyboard in order to input Chinese characters I don't know. This is going to be good for Chinese or Japanese, equally perfect. A lot of languages have phonetic keyboards, even if their alphabet isn't phonetic. You type in the romanization and then they recommend, oh, did you mean this one or did you mean this one? That's very effective. I don't know much about Southern Asian or Southwest Asian languages, but you need to invest some time in learning to type. That's very, very important as a self-studier. Then you need to have fun with it. Self-studying is fun. Self-studying is free. You don't feel crushed by homework and teachers and deadlines and not fun things. So do something you enjoy in this language. That could be music, that can be movies, that can be TV shows, that can be video games, that could be watching a YouTuber. You're like, just have fun with it. Because natives have fun every day. You should join in that. And I think this is something that's like very inherent about self-studying. You can enjoy yourself in this language. You can maximize the fun you have. Whereas in a classroom, I think you optimize the fun out of the learning experience. They kind of design things based on what is the least fun thing to do. Another way to have fun, just have a creative way to interact with the language. That could mean putting sticky notes everywhere. That could be diary entries. Just find an interesting way to interact with the language, and that will make the experience much nicer. Develop some kind of routine. I think this is important because you don't have deadlines or a teacher breathing down your back, so you need to make it a routine. Otherwise, you'll fall off the train and not do it. Basically, make it unthinkable that you don't learn in a day. For example, when you wake up at 9:30 a.m., you always open the book and do one little grammar exercise. Just make it just part of your routine so that if you miss it, you feel like, oh, this is not right. This is not my day. This is not happening. Not this. And basically make it part of your regular life. I think a really good metaphor is like a diet. You can have a lifestyle change where you eat less fat and you eat more vegetables and you don't eat a lot of red meat. You can have this kind of lifestyle change and you'll have some long-term effects on your health. Another kind of diet is some crash diet where you starve yourself for like a week, or you don't get enough nutrients so that you lose the fat in your body. With language learning, you want that first one. You want it to be like a slow, healthy climb. It's gonna be a little slow, but you need to expect that as a self-studier. You could do it very quickly, I guess. You could have that crash diet for language learning, but you're going to want to unalive yourself in 2 months, so maybe that's not a very good idea. So it's better to do the slow burn, the lifestyle change, eating more fruits and vegetables kind of language learning. That's better than starving yourself until 5 p.m. and then you study for 7 hours straight. No. So those are my tips for learning a language by yourself. You need to have some things prepared because nobody else is looking out for you. But I kind of love this freedom. You can do what you want. You're not being told what to do by a teacher. It's so liberating. And I feel like it's more effective because you can do it over a long period of time. If you're having a class, once you're done with that class, or once you stop paying that teacher, it's over, you stop learning, your progress stops. But if you kind of change your lifestyle, that this is very unthinkable to not learn, then you shall learn. You shall improve your skills. Your skills shall go to the moon. But that's that on that. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is there any other thing that's very useful for all self-studiers of a language? Because maybe I forgot it because the coffee hasn't quite hit my bloodstream yet. Follow me on Instagram because it is absolutely great over there. I'm doing things. On YouTube, I just say words and I tell you do this, and I'm very bossy. But over on Instagram, I'm like, hey, I learned this grammar today. It was really fun. Hashtag language learning. And I think it is a more fun way to interact with languages. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye-bye.